10:04 here on Live Impact News. Thanks for joining us here on a Friday morning. You know, they say the future belongs to the next generation, but these two young Charlotte leaders aren't waiting. We have Max Bao Dai and Simon Allen, who are the driving force now behind the Youth Civics Foundation. It's a nonprofit here in Charlotte, and their mission is to make civic education more accessible and engaging for students across the country. I love this, guys. Thanks for coming in, first of all.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, Max, you reached out to us here, and why put Youth Civics Foundation on our radar?
I think when you look at our impact this past year, we've been really expanding Youth Civics Foundation. We've run lots of workshops and have reached over 230 students through online and in-person workshops. And we've also managed to register over 180 youth and adults in Charlotte. And we've also currently run a policy blog where we have over 15,000 student readers across the nation.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So when did this organization start?
We first started March of last year, and it was because me and Simon, we're in the same AP Government and Politics class, and it was from there when we became inspired. So we had a research project together where we analyzed election trends and voter turnout, and something that really shocked us was that youth voter turnout was among the lowest of all age groups. And what that shocked us, because we knew that our peers cared a lot about the issues around them, but I think what happened was when we looked into reasons for low voter turnout, we found that there is a lack and a major need for a free and accessible civics education. So we decided that we couldn't just sit on that information and that we needed to take action and do something about it.
All right. I mean, so Simon, you also drawn to this work, this conversation. What role do you play here with the foundation? What draws you to civic engagement?
Well, at Youth Civics Foundation, I'm the program director, where I lead the interns that research and analyze bills that have been recently passed in Congress, and they research these bills. They figure out what their purpose is, how they work, and what their effect is, and they publish them for student readers across the nation to read. And that is my purpose at Youth Civics Foundation.
Fantastic. I mean, this is only just over a year old then, and did something just start going and start getting fired up here, Max, and everything just went across, like wildfire?
Yeah, I think when we started local, we were just looking to maybe impact a few kids, because we knew that if we could just inspire a few students, then our job would be done. But then we quickly realized that a lot of students do care about what's happening around them, and we noticed that that's a pattern that's been happening across our chapters across the United States and also within Charlotte. So I think that other students and their passion has been the reason why we've been able to be so successful today.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teens think that politics or government don't care about the youth. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think that that the youth we are the future, right? So if we don't think that, or if the youth don't think that government cares about them, then that is exactly why we need to speak up for ourselves and show up to the polls and show up to the elections and actually use our voice. So that's exactly what we're doing at Youth Civics Foundation. We're trying to build confidence among the youth to speak up about what they care about.
Simon, what moment did you realize that this is more than a subject in school then? I mean, what actually matters in real life? Why get engaged?
Well, I realized that our program it's just amazing, that it's genuinely necessary. When we held a workshop in person at a middle school, and in this workshop we were teaching about the importance of being a leader in your community, and how being even though you're young, you can still make an impact. And after the workshop, one of the middle schoolers came up to me and they told me that before the workshop, they had no idea that young people can make such an impact in their communities. They just figured that it was up for adults to use their civic knowledge to make an impact as a leader. But after the workshop, they'd found that they too could make an impact, and that they too had to step up, because they're going to be the adults in the future. They're going to be the ones making decisions once they're older.
Do you have conversations with your parents or family members about this, about the work you do and about what's happening with our government?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does that look like? What does that sound like?
sounds like I love the work you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, that's really great. And so, you know, you're juniors at Ballantyne
Yes,
High
ma'am.
School.
That's correct.
And making them so proud. And so, after your next year, how do you hope to move forward in your education in the future as young adults?
I hope to go to college after and study maybe political science or public policy, and I hope to eventually have a career where I can be in public service and continue giving back to my community.
Wow. How about you, Simon? Same?
I'm in the same boat.
Same boat.
Yeah.
Seeing what you're seeing now, dare I ask, what do you think? What are your opinions of how our government is now, or how it was, and taking that history and moving into the future?
Well, one thing that I've realized over time is that our government is still not fully representative of what the people want. Because from my project that I did last year and all my research, I found that like people are misrepresented in government. Minorities and low-income and disadvantaged communities oftentimes don't show up to vote as much. I think that's also because of laws and restrictions such as voter ID laws that limit access to voting. And I found that a lot of times, a lot of decisions that are happening in Congress aren't in agreement with the people because of that. There's a lack of civic engagement among like disadvantaged communities.
I mean, yeah, there is all of that happening. And so in knowing civics education and spreading the word amongst, you know, your not colleagues, but contemporaries and
Yeah.
fellow teens, what do you think needs to be done? How are you going to start to change, you know, make the changes that need to happen?
Well, I think where you start with that is that with civic participation, you have to have civic knowledge, right? So that's what we've been doing. We've been hosting civic literacy workshops among the youth in order to help them understand the basics of what the government is, how it works, how they can get involved, and just why voting matters so much.
Yeah, seriously. Looks like the foundation says it emphasizes U.S. Constitution and its amendments. So this document that we refer to all the time, why does it matter to young people today?
This document is so important because, as we learn in history, it's a living document. It can always change, and they have the ability to change it in the future. So if they know how to change it and how the best way to speak in their communities to do that, then they'll be set for the future, and that's our biggest goal.
What's the hardest part about being a leader among teenagers today?
Well, I think the biggest challenge that we faced by far is being able to build credibility as students, because from the start we struggled with finding and building partnerships with schools and other organizations because of our age and our experience. But then we found that we just needed to maintain professionalism and maintain good communication with these organizations, and we were eventually able to partner with one, build trust with them, and then we were able to partner with even more. And I also think when we're among like our peers, our message is more like digestible and understandable to them when they hear it from someone who is around their age and sees things similarly to the way they see things. So like when we make our message more relatable that way.
All right, and where do you see the Youth Civics Foundation in a year or two after you guys graduate?
I think that if we continue at our current rate, and based on how much I see that, because like I think as people are getting older in their teens, they're caring more about the issues happening around them. And recently this year, we've been able to recruit student leaders from New York, New Jersey, Texas, and Washington, D.C., and we're still working on expanding to other states. So on a national level, I think we're working on expanding chapters to more states that we can continue Youth Civics Foundation work in other states.
Fantastic. And we obviously need more civics education in schools, yeah?
Yes,
Definitely, yeah.
How would you go about trying to get that, I don't know, a curriculum, a little bit more fire underneath that curriculum initiative?
Yeah, so I think in North Carolina there is civic education, but I think what's missing is that though we are teaching in classes about the basics of government and things like that, I think we need to stress the importance of voting, because oftentimes I think students hear that, oh, we have the choice to vote, but they're not taught that it is important and why it's necessary for them to actually vote and participate in democracy. So that's something we're looking into, maybe trying to pass a bill or something that in our state legislature that would mandate a class or like an addition to our current civics classes to stress the importance of voting.
What's something that gives you guys hope about your generation?
Something that gives us hope about our generation is just seeing how many people are wanting to learn. Like, it is a misconception that youth and young people our age don't want to learn. They want to play video games, they want to spend time on social media, but we've had many individuals reach out to us and come up to us telling us how much they are happy with our program, they are proud to take place in our program, and how much they'd like to take initiative and start an initiative of their own.
All right. And how can we help support you, your efforts and the Youth Civics Foundation?
I think one way would be to maybe spread awareness about just the importance of civic literacy in general, because I think a lot of people don't understand that it's important to understand how governments and how the systems around us work. So I think awareness is the most important thing. The more people that are informed, the stronger our democracy will be.
Ooh, like it.
Yeah.
The more we are informed, the stronger our democracy will be.
That's right.
Good message. I'm gonna marinate on that for a second. The website is I have it handy here, Max. Give it to us again.
Youthcivicsfoundation.org.
So if you want any more information, go check them out, youthcivicsfoundation.org. Don't they make us proud? Wow, you guys are so poised and eloquent, so much better than I was at my game, you know, when I was your age. So we appreciate you fellas coming in, our leaders, our new generation, the next generation here in the Live Impact studio. Anything else you want to leave us with?
I think to all the young people out there, if you see an issue, please learn about it, get involved, and take initiative. Because we here at Youth Civics Foundation, we were just a group of high school students who saw something that we cared a lot about. And so just don't sit back and wait for someone else to do it. You should take initiative.
Boom. Mic drop right there. Okay. Max and Simon, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate your time in the conversation. That was great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.